This is tutorial number 165, and it covers the Flex Bending feature within SOLIDWORKS. To start off, open up tutorial part number 164, which is located on the DVD. Now, the previous tutorial, we went over the intro to the Flex features, so now we're going to be using the bending feature, using the features that I showed in the previous tutorial. So let's go to the Flex Bending feature. So let's click Insert, click Feature, click Flex, and make sure that you've selected Bending. So to start off, let's select our input. So for the body, it's going to be this entire body. So let's click it. And now we have our trim planes and our bending axis. So this first time, what we're going to do is we're just going to leave everything as is and just create a bend. So to create the bend, all you have to do is change the angle here. So as we increase it, you can see the yellow is the result, and you can see how it's all bending around that bend axis there. So let's make this bend 75 degrees. Click Enter, and now we have a 75-degree bend. Now we have kept the trim planes intact to where they are, and the triad we haven't moved either. So this is just strictly clicking the body and putting in a bend. So we see the preview, we see what we had before. Now let's click OK and accept it. And you can see that now we have a 75-degree bend from one end to the other here. Now if we go back into this feature, we can adjust some of the bending features in a bit more detail. So let's right click on Flex 1, click Edit Feature. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to play with the trim planes. So let's bring in each trim plane a bit. So let's start out with trim plane 1, which is right here. So let's bring this in, and as you bring it in, you can see that everything from here to the right is straight again, and from here to the left is bending. And as I bring it back, you can see how it starts bending again, and as I bring it forward, you can see how it straightens it out. So let's put this at 80, and let's do the same to the other one. Let's put this to 80. Click OK. And now you can see that from here to here, it's straight on both sides, and you only have the 75-degree bend acting in between the two planes right along there. And that's what we wanted. Now let's go into it one more time. Click Edit Feature. Now let's play with the bend axis. So let's pull this axis out this way, and you can see the preview and what happens. And if we pull it out more this way, it's creating a longer arc and bend. So let's pull it out this way, create that longer bend, click OK. And you can see that it's lengthened the entire part, and it still made that 75 with these parts being straight. Now let's delete this entire flex that we made here. So click Delete, click OK. And now we're going to go and do another flex, but instead of this time going and flexing along here, we're going to flex these guys, the two endpoints there. So let's click Insert, click Feature, click Flex, and click the body here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate our trim planes around. So you can either rotate it through here, these points here, or you can just manually do it. Let's rotate it through these points here. And whenever you rotate it, it's always going to be at the most extreme point on the outside. So right now, each of these planes are tangent to these surfaces here. And let's just put that back to where it was. And as you see, as I'm rotating around, like I was saying about being tangent, when you first make it, it's always going to be tangent to a point, these trim planes. So as you keep going around, it's always tangent. And let's just put it to 90. And now let's add a bit of an angle and see what we get. So let's make it 90, this angle here. And you can see that we're bending. And now let's click OK. And now we've just bent the two ends into each other. Now let's go into this feature again. So let's click Edit Feature. And this time let's pull the bend axis. And you can see as you move it around how it changes and how it alters what the entire shape is going to look like. So from that original shape, pulling it out like this, you're adding material and you're just changing the whole sizes and everything. So let's click OK. And now we have this as our part. So you're able to bend in pretty much any direction, and by bending you're able to limit using the trim planes where that bending is taking place, and you're able to change your bend axis. And this concludes our tutorial on how to use the Flex Bending feature within SOLIDWORKS.